Mrs. Monk, thank you for sharing your story. It takes a lot of courage to come up here. You have given us some very critical insight in the impact of problem gambling and what the ramifications of that can be. And our hearts go out to you and your family. The media awareness campaign that we introduced today will hopefully assist other families who face challenges similar to what you have just articulated. The Ohio Lottery Commission for decades has been vigilant in publicizing problem gambling messaging and supporting problem gambling programs throughout the state of Ohio. Since 1974, the Ohio Lottery has generated over $21 billion in profits for the state of Ohio. And the lottery's primary mission is to ensure funding for support of K-12 education in Ohio, consistent with our goal of creating revenue for education. It's also very important in our civic duty to help educate adults on how to play responsibly. The lottery takes this responsibility very serious. In recognition of the changing gaming landscape in Ohio, we now have 7 casinos, and there's 4 casinos open. Relative to the casinos, 0.5% of video lottery sales agent commissions, these are the profit sections that the casinos get, is earmarked in support of problem gambling programs and other addiction-related services. With those revenues, we are pleased to announce that the Ohio Lottery will fund an outreach portion of this current campaign, the 95%, in the sum of $1 million. We are excited to participate in this campaign and work with our other Ohio responsible gaming partners. Intensive work has gone into the development of this campaign. In December of 2014, our staff joined 30 of Ohio's behavioral health leaders and our ORG partners to define the need for community awareness of this issue. In January 2015, we met to determine what kind of awareness strategies were needed in Ohio. And it was clear from the beginning that the campaign needed to be rooted in the science of public health education and prevention. By March of this year, the ORG partners and the behavioral health service system were testing concepts to make sure that we could reach the audience groups necessary with messaging that would be universally meaningful. Focus group surveys were completed and analyzed. As messages were developed, they were tested with different audiences to see if they would resonate. We considered what the images look like and what impact and range appeal to different genders, ages, and cultural groups. All of this data was analyzed and tweaked to produce the campaign we are introducing today. And again, the Ohio Lottery is proud to make an effort and support this campaign. At this time, it's my honor to introduce our next speaker, Executive Director of the Ohio Casino Control Commission, Schuler.
All right, that applause was really lackluster compared to Tracy's. Although I'm sure I would do the same thing if I were in the audience, clapping for myself. Dennis, thank you very much. It is an honor for the Commission, and on behalf of our Chair, Joanne Davidson, who is with us over here this morning, I appreciate this. When it comes to responsible gambling, before there was any staff at the Commission, it was Chair Davidson who made that our first priority, before there was an application for a casino operator or even one stroke of a pen on regulation. It was the partnership that we had with The commission also administers something called the Voluntary Exclusion Program, and it's where individuals, as a tool to deal with their own problem gambling, can exclude themselves from the casino for 1 year, 5 years, or for their lifetime. And while in the program, if they're in casino gambling, they're subject to criminal trespassing, as well as having all of their winnings confiscated. These forfeited funds go into the Problem Gambling Convictions Fund, which I'm happy to say is part of the contributions that's helping to fund this campaign today. As Director Berg mentioned, this campaign was developed as an influencer campaign. It is grounded in public health science and a strategy called social learning, which I learned a lot about during my internet search for Tracy, and I'm excited to hear more about this from Marcie Seidel when she comes up. There are several campaign objectives that we wanted to accomplish. Dennis already touched on them. The first is to build awareness around the issue of problem gambling, creating dialogue in the community and families around the subject. Our behavioral health community has gotten on the road, talking to local social service organizations, to churches, businesses, other healthcare, government, veterans groups, and they discovered one thing, that people simply do not recognize gambling as an issue of concern until it has already hurt their families. We want to create a positive approach to educating the community about safe gambling practices. This campaign will not employ scare tactics. It will, and it is meant to offer help and resources for anyone who needs it. And we also are going to promote the positive outcomes of responsible gambling choices, establishing and keeping to limits. If people choose to gamble, the campaign will show them how to gamble responsibly. It will not promote or encourage any behavior except healthy lifestyle choices. So that is the campaign. You can see on the placard and on the screen, be the 95%. If you gamble, you will learn how to do it responsibly. And if you know someone who has a gambling problem, you will know how to get him or her help. Resources are available and continue to grow. I have tips on how to recognize the warning signs